point them anytime, eating them and all that, every time now and then. Even not waiting for the political year. That has been bad. So I wonder why. But then
the most wonderful thing about the people of Teshie is that if you get to Teshie, you come, especially Teshie Mami, you come across lots of youth groups, and the youth groups decide. It's not the political parties that decide. If you've observed, it's the youth groups that determine the political color for the next 4 years.
That's true. That's very, very true. And that is Teshie and to some extent La that the Kotopon constituency to some extent do that. And then I think on the other hand, parliamentary member-elect or member of parliament-elect Benjamin Ayuku Nate also on the other hand was actually not seen so much in the media space.
Yes, he was very quiet.
Very, very quiet. But then I gathered that he was very strategic in appealing to the people, getting to the people, getting his message across, and then buying the people out this time around. And that is what did the trick for him. On the low key, he was doing the donations, he was attending their funerals, he was attending the funerals with them, he was buying into the idea, he was supporting people, and then also we know he's a big time businessman. So one way or the other, he uses
I know for a fact that he's also had his pocket in the race for the MP ousted by Dr. Bernard, that is Senna Okitidua.
Yeah.
He done same for the late Nino Tedua.
Yeah.
And that has been his, but just that he's been in the backyard working. This time around he's been pushed forward and he has won the seat.
That's very true, and he's been at the back or behind the scenes for a longer period. So the masses know him, the people of Teshie know him very, very well. His name rings a bell anytime you mention it in Teshie. So coming forward to stand for that, it's just a matter of decision making, and then he has gotten the nod. And then from what I gathered yesterday, I realized he himself generally is the quiet type who would like to go underneath and then do the business, and that is what did the trick for him. From yesterday, you could tell from the way his demeanor and everything, that shows that yes, he knew he was going to take the seat. One, because there's a fact that, or there's a history that Teshie, once you're on, we have 1 term for you and we are guaranteed of that. And then secondly too, he knew the NDC party itself had faithfuls in Teshie, and then also majority of people have fallen off with Okoboy, even those in this strong room and then those in his camp. So that is what brought about this results.
Right. So with the result, we'd have to know exactly what the figures looked like, and we'll compare them to what it was some 4 years ago when Dr. Bernard Okoboy ousted the then incumbent Senna Okitidua.
Great. So with the results. We're gathering currently from Teshie, or we gathered certified results. It's certified results.
Now certified results.
Now certified results from the Coalition Center, from the presiding officer who gave the numbers. These are certified actuals of what happened in Teshie. New Patriotic Party with their presidential candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo pulled 50,530 votes. 50,530 votes. And then also the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, certified results as 59,096. He got 59,096. GUM, that is Mr. Andrews, Andrews for GUM, Ghana Union Movement, pulled 747. Then the Convention's People's Party pulled 81. GFP, Madame Ekwia Donko, pulled 19. GCPP, 11. And then also APC, 21. LPG, that is Mr. Kofi Pepsival Akpalu, pulled 21. PNC, 8. PPP 34, and then NDP, that is former First Lady and the candidates for the NDP and Ajiman Rawlings, Madam Konedo Ajiman Rawlings, 33. Independent candidates, Mr. Asiedu Walker pulled 35 from the constituency, that is Lejokuku constituency. The total votes was 110,662, and then also rejected ballots were 1,311. Total votes cast was 111,930. 37. So those are certified results for the presidential elections in the Lejokuku constituency.
Okay, so for the same Lejokuku, let's look at how the presidential had been in the previous election. In Lejokuku 2016 election, John Dramani Mahama of the NDC polled 44,406. That is 49.8% of total votes cast. Nana Akufo-Addo of the NPP polled 43,956, 49.3%. Just these two. Can you make the comparison? 44,406 as against what for this year?
Yeah, I think then the number shoots up by about 15,000 in favor of John Dramani Mahama,
So
getting 59,000.
59.
Yeah, that's
Wow, so
yeah.
that's 50,000 plus.
15,000 plus. But then let's bear in mind that they are new registered voters,
of course,
which adds up to the numbers.
But what did,
this is the highest so far.
And what did Nana Akufo-Addo also poll?
I think 50,530.
So he also had
about 6,000. 6,000. You said 44,000 for last 43,000. So about 7,000 or a little over 7,000
okay.
From last year. So he also had a shoot up, and that is for a fact that Dr. Bernard Okoboy was doing something good for, or was helping out at in Teshin Lejokuku.
No, but whilst they are making 15,000, the NPP made 7,000. It's not proportional.
Of course, I understand, but then I'm saying that the shoot up, because they are in governance now, that is where you can judge them, because these people have been out of governance the last 4 years. So getting this by a 15,000 shoot up only means that then they were working. The last 4 years they've been on the ground.
Let's look at the figures that Dr. Bernard Okoboy
all right,
pulled from this year's election.
So from the constituency, we gathered that there was total votes cast in the constituency was 111,587. We had rejected 766, and then also total votes was 110,821. Now to the results, New Patriotic Party candidate Dr. Bernard Okoboy had 54,072. 54,072. The National Democratic Congress businessman and now parliamentary member-elect Benjamin Ayuku pulled 55,938. That was 55,938. And then Gum had 674. That is one Mr. Lord put 674. And then also the independent candidates there, I think Lucky had 137 from the
Can you repeat the parliamentary for the sake of our viewers?
NPP pulled 54,072. 54,072. The National Democratic Congress, the NDC, Dr. Bernard Okoboy pulled 55,938, 55,938, and then also GUM, that is Ghana Union Movement, pulled 674, and also the independent candidates pulled 137.
Okay, so for Dr. Bernard Okoboy, he leapfrogged from 45,259, which was his scores or his votes from 2016 to 54,072. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So the difference is 8,813. And his contender in the person of Mr. Benjamin Ayuku Nate, who polled 55,938, made a difference of 12,846 due to the fact that the previous contender, who was then incumbent Benita Sinot Okitidia, had polled 43,092 in the previous elections. Right, so those are the dynamics, those are the figures given us by our correspondent, Nai Kao. So let's move from Lejokuku. We'll come back to Lejokuku, talk a bit about one or two things, but let's move from Lejokuku to its nearest neighbor to the west, that is Ladekotopong. We moved to Ladekotopong. I don't know if you have figures from Ladekotopong, but we can still look at the dynamics of the vote here.
I think yeah, I've got the figures.
Okay, right, so we can start with the figures and then we look at other things.
I have the figures for Ladekotopong. These are certified results actually that have been declared already. I think they were the few earlier ones that were declared before daybreak.
Yes.
The winners have been declared, or the polls have been announced in the constituency. Of course, the coalition center was the Laboni Senior High School, and then this is what we gathered from the coalition center. For the presidential elections, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for the New Patriotic Party polled 39,951.
39,951.
And the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, pulled 43,733.
43,733.
Christian Kwabena Andrew for GUM pulled 582.
Okay.
582. Ivor Kwabena Green Street for CPP pulled 81.
Okay.
Henry Herbert Latte 30. That is for the GCPP, yeah. And then also Hassan Ayariga 16. Kofi Pepsiva Akpalu 7.
Okay.
David Akpesara 23. Bridget Jogbe Nuku for the PPP 61.
Okay.
And then also Nana Konedru Rollins NDP 29.
I see. Right. So
Alfred Kwame Walker 15.
Okay. So let's look at how it played out in the constituencies, both the okay, what you give us was the presidential. Okay, so for the presidential, let's look at how it played out. So in the year 2016, the NPP's Nana Addo Akufo-Addo polled for the 3,956. So there was a drop as he had polled 39,951, if I'm not mistaken from your figures, 39,951. That was the figure for this year's election.
Yep,
so
exactly.
The difference of 4,005. He dropped by 4,005 votes. Now, if we look at the situation in the okay, so when we look at the situation in the NPP, there was a drop of 673 votes as he the NDC candidate polled 43,733. So there was a drop of 673 votes there here in Lejekuku.
For
sorry,
in favor, yeah. So in favor of the NDC.
Yes, the NDC won here, but I'm doing the comparison, asking how many votes did they, leap
that is
by
for the MPP,
or drop. So
both
the MPP and the NDC dropped votes.
Okay.
The NDC dropped 673 votes this year, and the MPP dropped 4,005 votes. So
4,005.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think that is shocking to me, because in the last 4 years, having the government being NPP, and then also the incumbent, that is Mr. Vincent Odote being an MPP member, I think it should have given them at least an edge, or if not at all, they shouldn't have even lost. But then losing 5,000 votes.
Yeah, minding the dynamics. The dynamics.
The dynamics that they brought a new candidate.
Yes.
I think that is why I'm coming to that. At least the last 4 years, if you had a party in power and then your sitting MP is in that party, then at least, if not at all, it should be the same thing. But when you drop in a whooping 5,000 votes, I think it's very detrimental. 4,005, about 5,000 or almost 5,000. Almost 5,000.
Not
so almost so a little about over 4,000.
Yeah.
Or over 4,000 votes. I think it's very detrimental, because considering the fact that there's been so many things ongoing in the constituency, taking into perspective the incumbent Vincent Odote's initiative of the free health care accessibility, that is the national health care being free, and then also free primary education daycare center, having paid for kids underage or kids of school going age under the age of 6 years having to go school free in the constituency, and then also free public toilets and all that, doing that all that coming into that, and then also getting many of the youths, getting them jobs that I can tell you for a fact, then I think it's detrimental. And then because of the mistake, no, I'm saying a mistake because of the results we are getting now, that they are bringing a new person to the post this year, had this is the effect that they got from that, because losing 5,000 could easily make you lose the election.
In the last election, the NPP with Vincent Wadota had to overturn hoping 17,000 votes.
Deficits.
Those votes, well, if you do the mathematics, it's just 9,000 that he had to work on just to be able to flip it. Now, he flipped it such that he managed 1,400 deficit for the NDC to overturn if they intend to win the seat. That would be easy for the NDC because they've claimed that La Adekoto belongs to them. Do you see in the near future, with all the other claims, that in fact, or even the candidates that they don't feel is, you know, their member is an NDC, do you see the NPP making a comeback in the near future?
That is that of whether Dr. Joseph Joad and you feel the PC for the NPP.
Because people have said that.
Yes, and that has been their claim, and they substantiate it.
The claim that has also caused the NPP in La.
That is very true. But then I think the NPP can come back in the La Adekoto, because taking into consideration the fact that Vincent Odote, after NDC being in power for the past 12 years or more, that is recalling from Ni Amasano Mwali, Amasano Mwali's reign, all the way to 2016, where Vincent Odote had to overturn that 9,000 difference in the constituency. I think he overworked, or he had to do extra to get to that level. And then all of a sudden, in the next 4 years, whilst you had a party in governance, you had your member of parliament working so hard, which I can testify to because I live and stay in the constituency. I don't think it's just
his own delegates pushed him out. They kicked him out. They brought in a new candidate.
Maybe because they didn't understand what he was doing.
What was he doing that they didn't
from where I sit as
if
a
you are
poster,
seeing
I'll tell you that
they are closer to him. They should see it.
Teshin, it's early to declare, but then Teshin would regret bringing Ben Ayiku. Not that he's not going to work, but because Dr. Bernard Okoboy had future with the constituency, and that is factual. The same applies to Vincent Odote.
You might be seeing it one way,
because of where I sit,
constituent, well,
because of where I sit,
because
of where I sit, and then you agree with me that yes, we are closer to them, we get to them, we understand what they do, we are with them when they are doing, we call them as and when we think they should come on and off and all that. So that's for us. So then I think Dr. Gerard Joseph Nyanyofio, yes, he is a good candidate for the party, but this period he isn't.
Can he stage a comeback?
He personally, I think he should rethink of.
What was his message? What was his message?
His message is getting them, because he is of the educational background. He's a lecturer, and then he has he's now a doctor now, and then all that. So
recently,
he wants to,
recently,
he recently attended a doctorship and all that. He wants to bring. His message was clear that he wants to bring education to the doorsteps of the people in the constituency. Yes, they were schooling already, but then he wanted to add more and to energize them, to give them reasons as to, and then to make education simple and accessible to them, to continue the good work of Vincent Odote, who were already at a 10-year development plan for young ones who were being born in the constituency, where
Had
they were going.
Initiated it, or it was just on paper?
No, he's initiated it, and it's rolling. It's ongoing, and then from I remember
is he going to
the very
abrogate
last time, he said he was going to continue for the next 10 years.
Despite the fact that he has lost.
He said he was going to continue for the next 10 years.
Did he say that when he lost the primaries?
No, he said that before he lost, before the primaries, before, I mean, I think a year before the primaries, because I was at an occasion where that particular school, I was the MC last 2 years, where he came, and then he was the chairman because of his relationship with them, and then the initiative, and then he made the announcement publicly that he was not going to decline.
Was that the Methodist school?
Pardon?
The Methodist school?
No, the new La Neighborhood Center. Yeah, okay. The social warfare center school around the La Center area in the new Lakwana
area. Yeah, but Lagos is the name of the location.
Yeah, Lagos is the name of the location, and he said it publicly, and where media houses took it clear and all that. So that is it. So the good work that Dr. Vincent Odote was doing in the constituency, his predecessor, or his successor, Dr. Gerard Nyanyofio, preached that he was going to continue indeed. But then the question is,
well,
what was the relationship?
But before that, before I come to that, that aspect of continuity of his, because you are saying clearly, then we can say that both the NDC candidate and the NPP candidate were attesting to the fact that the man was doing something good.
Of course.
Because here on our set, not this particular set, but on the Start Right show set, I remember very well the NDC's candidate, the person of Rita Dolesoa, reiterating the fact that people are crying. She's gone around, she's experienced people worried that the very things that the outgoing MP put out there are going to cease and they're not going to benefit. And she promised them on set that she will continue with those works. I'm not sure she'll continue if they're not good policies.
Of course, and that is the thing. That is why I'm saying he did good for the people of the constituency. That is Lada de Kotopo, leading them, spearheading projects, being with them, being visible. Yes, for in the moment he won, he wasn't visible in the constituency for close to a year, but after a year or two he came back and then he announced his comeback, even though people were like he was not going to contest again and all that. He was very quiet.
I
he
remember
didn't
last year, the Honorable Vincent Sowadote made it clear that he wasn't going to contest. That was after the death of the late Honorable MCE, and there was a new MCE. He made it clear, and I remember he gave reasons that I can't mention here, but his reasons were not open publicly, made it secret. But he says he's not going to contest the seat again. He's going to continue with his,
which I think
works,
went all the way to affect him in the primaries. Because once you have
but the primaries, it was obvious he was facing contenders from the party who were big wigs.
No, but that is not being said of Dr. Gerard Nyanyufio, who won eventually. That is not being said of that he was a big wig in the party.
No, I'm not saying he was a contender.
Okay, but he was contending with big wigs in the yes, and that is the politics in there. That is the politics in the constituency and all that, and that is what went all the way to inform the NDC that
its lesson.
Yes.
They failed to learn the lessons from the time of the Honorable Godfred Akunai, who also served just one term. They won the elections, and the subsequent one, the primaries, they took him off.
Bringing Dr. Soa.
Exactly. And after that particular election, they lost. The same thing has played in their face.
It looks like they are not learning their lessons, and I think that is what went all the a long way to manifest in the votes that was being cast or being declared just today in the polls for the parliamentary elections. Because of course, if he is one of you, he has been with you, and then you have brought him as to us, and then generally people, the majority have decided that we are going with him, leaving our own and our dear NDC, whom we have been with for the past 12 years, and then we believe we are making progress steadily, and we have accepted him. Why then would you change him in the next 4 years? What has he done? And then we believe he is working. The NDC attests to it, the MPP attests to it, everyone in the constituency attests to the fact that Vincent Sowadote was working. And then I think what happened to was, I don't know if you can help me out, but then he being taken off his role as the minister, Deputy Minister of Communication.
He had an interview with Umar Sanda of City FM. I monitored that particular interview. I tried to speak with Umaru after, but I didn't get a chance. But in that particular interview, you get the sense that he wanted to make it, secret. He didn't want to admit that he was facing challenges from his party executives, who, from the questions, the questioning, also seemed that they had, instigated, initiated his fall from grace to grass. So well, in with regards to his ministerial or deputy ministerial appointment, do you think it was too diplomatic with the issues? He didn't make it bare, so that the delegates would know that indeed what you hear about me is not the fact. Yes,
I think he was too diplomatic with the issues on the ground. But then going forward, that is what you expect of him. Remember, Vincent Sowadote is not the audible type that would be going on media and ranting on addressing issues and all that in the media space like we know other parliamentary members do. He is the quiet type who would like to solve things behind the scene. But then it looks like the party executives had other and then they had other means. I'm sure, trust me, the next 4 years they'll be coming up with a new candidates for the next election.
They will not be,
trust me, I'm not sure
retaining
retain, because there's been speculations that he's an NDC member. Even Vincenzo Odote, they've said it several times that he crossed carpets from NDC to MPP, and then he has won and all that. So I believe they're taking lessons and some cue from whatever happened this time around. I'm sure they'll go back to the boardroom and then also, and then it's for a fact that they will change Dr. Joseph Gerard Nyanyofio, because he was he was unknown. He was virtually unknown before he came into the picture, and then he won. So by virtue of the fact that the executive didn't like Dr. Vincenzo Odote, that is why he won, and that is I can tell you for a fact. But going forward, congratulations to Rita. Now
I was coming to zone in on the Honorable Rita's Odole. So I'm proud to her winning. Proud to her winning. The only complaints I was getting from some persons was that when she was MCU, so she wasn't approachable.
She was that rude.
Yes, she wasn't open. Yet she was, you know, soft-spoken, and such people, you know, are enduring despite. What do you, in your own view, having observed and followed what's happened in Lala Kutupong in the past few months, running up to these elections, what, in your view, played in, you know, her cup to make it swell to this, you know, frothing level?
First off, the constituency is noted, or has been generally widely accepted, that is an NDC constituency, comparing the number of years they've been in power in the constituency and all that. Normally himself, that 12 years, that is 3 terms, and if not for the good work of Vincenzo Odote, having worked all the way through 4 years before winning the 2016 elections, you could tell for a fact that normally was leading even before the elections. And then it was a
not to cut in. If you're saying that the Honorable Vincenzo Odote had worked proud to the elections 4 years, just so he can make, you know, strides in Lala Kutupong, how many years did Dr. Gerard Nyanyofio also?
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
Less than a year. Less than a year. I think even before Corona, for once we thought Dr. Vincenzo Odote has USET, and then we know that he was not contesting again. So then I'm sure the NPP were undecisive of who was coming and all that. And then just after January, we saw things.
Well, I remember names like
Dr. Daniel Macaulay.
And then Davis Nyamalu. Dr. Macaulay, earlier in the year, somewhere January, refuted on Joy.
Yes,
and he refuted in an interview we sought to have with him on a different platform.
And then also, yes, on a different platform, yes. So he admitted that he was not contesting for that. He was not going. I had nothing of that in mind. Personally, I spoke to him and he said, no. So that is that. So before that, just in the new year, that is this year, 2020, that is where we heard glimpse of Honorable Joseph Gerard Nyanyofio being contested, and people were asking themselves questions, who is Gerard Nyanyofio? Where is he? Oh, Olele, he's a lecturer at the UPSC, he's been that and that, but then he is not known to the people. They don't know him in the constituency until he won. Even until he won the primaries, he was not known by the people. And then the question is, what has he done? What is his track record? How does the people accept him? How does the people know him? How has been the relationship on the grassroots level, even in the party, outside the party? What has been his approach and all that? So
do you think the message, because when I asked about the message, many people were saying that, well, you know how Ghans, in quote, behave when you come telling them about what achievements someone has done personally. It seemed that most of the things he had achieved prior to the elections was the fact that he was a scholar, he was very educated, he was a gentleman par excellence, and that he's awaiting the award of a doctorate degree.
Yeah.
Do you think the NPP did not factor the fact that they are dealing with people who do not care a hoot what shirt their chief wears?
That's true. That's true. I think the NPP, on the other hand, did not really consider the people.
Most of the things I was hearing was he's educated.
He's educated.
He's a doctor.
But he's a doctor doesn't put money in your pocket. He's a doctor doesn't
even make good policy. Not necessarily makes good policies.
And all that. Yeah. And if
I had a professor lecturer, Taflat, if he's listening, he taught me so. But the fact is that his room was always a mess. Cockroaches all over. He was a professor.
But he was a professor.
He was a professor. But he was not even.
So the fact that he was, academically good sound and efficient and all that, that doesn't really make him yes generally accepted by the people, and that is what manifested in the polls.
But he's proved to be a good leader when it comes to, you know, if you take, for example, within his church community, he is, attested to be a good leader.
But you and I will agree that managing a church or leading a church group or leading a faction in the church or leading a faction in the society is different from leading your constituents.
But that's an example. That is where you start. Well, start from somewhere.
Of course, that is getting leadership qualities and attaining leadership role. But then leading your people, other than that, you would agree with me that then the immediate gone or that was gone member of parliament, Dr. Vincent Sowa Odote, is an excellent leader. But then why did his own people deny him? He is an excellent leader. He's got all the qualities of a leader from where I sit. Dr. Bernard Okoboy, having led his people in the last 4 years, is an excellent leader. He's been proven, tried and tested, and that is it. So, yes, he leading in church and all that, having all those qualities. But then going forward, the Ghans, the people of La, the citizens, look beyond the surface. They want to delve deep. And
facade is nothing to them.
Of course.
Veneer is nothing to them.
No.
And understanding it further, would you also agree, or would you also say that La, the township and beyond, being a close knit, and I'll come to you know, the 37, the military areas, and I'll make an assertion that I observed personally, and I'll put it here, my opinion, what I observed. But in La township, La Maming, it's a close knit community. Everybody relates to everybody, almost. Yeah. In fact, Gerald Tetenyonyefio was on the ticket that he was mentioning where his maternal and paternal, you know, lineages, you know, were rooting from, and could mention about 4 different homes, clan houses. The fact that people knew or people asserted that Gerald Tetenyonyefio and Honorable Vincent Sowa Odote were closely, you know, knitted as friends, and even people saw them as brothers. And he went all the way to contest him. Voting for him would be, you know,
a betrayal.
A betrayal, because he was seen to have betrayed.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think that went in a way of getting Madame Odole Sowa a win?
Of course. And then it's represented in the results we got so far.
We'll be looking at those results.
Yeah, we'll be looking at it. But then shortly. I think it helped Madame Odole Rita. And then also bear in mind that Madame Odole Rita also is closely related to Vincent Sowa Odote, and that is by family relation, by bond, by close,
the name speaks for itself. Odole Sowa, Vincent Sowa Odote, and Rita Na Odole Sowa.
So it tells you a lot. So therefore, if indeed they were that related and interrelated, like you are saying, and then like Mami La Mami is noted for, then people who of course had soft spot for Vincent Sowa Odote
would throw their weight behind easily,
without any conviction, easily, because yes, I know you, Nete, and then I'm related to you, we happen to, and all that, it plays a part. And then also Honorable Gerald Tetenyonyefio, on the other part, like I'm saying, he was not known. He was not popular within the people. He was just made popular in the matter of some few months to the elections. He was just made popular with the health work they were organizing, with the door-to-door campaigning and all that. And then for him, unfortunately for him, during that period of campaigning, there was restrictions which couldn't gather the masses for him at an earlier stage where they would get him, talk to them, appeal to them and all that. He was doing the one-on-one.
There was a big rift, and they were denied. There was a big rift in the NPP in Lada Kutupong. There was a big rift, which they failed to seal. Now, that going into 2020 election has caused. Now, if you go to my survey, I did a proper search. And if you go to the camps, the barracks, prisons, etc., those are places you know that the NPP win. Cantonment, Laboni, etc., Kumoji, etc. Now, these places, the NDC either won or made gains. They either won or made gains. Some few days, 3 days, 2 days to the election, I had wind of the fact that there was some, you know how it goes, in the constituency over there. Some people were sidelined.
Oh, okay.
Last minute. And I came across, I met people, I physically met people who were complaining that they've been sidelined. They weren't reporting and complaining, to people that they thought they, coming to seek recourse with them, they would get some succor. Now, these people rather turned their back to them. Last-minute elections. This is what cost them.
Of course, yeah.
This is what caused the NPP. It's just unfortunate that, someone who has been touted to be a very good leader, his mettle could not be tested in Parliament and on the, frontal when it comes to constituency and municipal administration. Just unfortunate there. But nonetheless, kudos and congratulations to Honorable Rita Odole-Sowa. Right, so let's look at the figures as it played out in Ladad Kutupong. All
right, so for parliamentary results, the New Patriotic Party, led by Dr. Joseph Gerald Nyanyofio, pulled 54,072. 54,070. Sorry, that is not for Gerald. I think he put different figures as to what happened, the actuals on the ground. He put 41,101. 41,101. And then Honorable Rita Odole-Sowa pulled 47,606. A little difference of 6,000. Okay. Difference of 6,000 and more. Rita pulled 47,606. Madam Sinari pulled 167. And then also Madam Gifty Odampton, who was for independence, pulled 186. Michelle Bowman Amwa, to me, has done well. He put 518. That is, he being third on the third position, placing third in the parliamentary results in the constituency. That is the Ladad Kutupong constituency. Total vote cast was 90,180, and then total valid ballots was 9,578. Rejected was 602. 602 were rejected. So that is that. Gerald pulling 41,101, Odole pulling 47,606. A difference of 6,000 made the trick for Honorable Rita Odole-Sowa, former MCE of the constituency, and then now the MP elect for the Ladad Kutupong constituency. Let me just use this opportunity to say congratulations, and then also congratulations to and wish Honorable Joseph Gerald Nyanyofio well. I know they've really done well. They've worked all the way from the start of the campaign. So now that the results are out, they've all really worked well. But then so the MPP were confident in the very confident in the constituency, especially looking at the numbers that came out with their second walk, and then their Akufo-Addo coming to the constituency to commission the market, and so there are a lot of factors.
I always say that psychology that plays into log rolling when it comes to votes and constituents, especially a place where it's swinging often. You must be careful.
Yeah.
So I was expecting when the president came to commission the market to have invited the candidate.
Yes. Who then started?
Who was on the ticket of the NDC, because she started that project. And that was an initiative.
Of course.
It didn't play out so, and that was just.
But then you would agree with me too that the bare fact that Honorable Rita Odole-Sowa was a female also helped.
I think if the NPP had wrapped that in very much, it would have cost it, because she was on record, or she's on record, and the NDC is also on record, having pushed against a female candidate some years back.
Exactly.
So if they had wrapped that in so seriously, that might have been a problem.
Generally, they didn't do that. Yes. They didn't add that. But what I'm saying is the women in the constituency
from the presidency.
Yeah.
I think it was one from the NPP camp asking their people not to speak against anyone. When it comes to who they are, what they've said, what. But
the NDC also added their voice to it when they brought the Professor Nana Jenopoku.
Exactly. That would have been so disastrous for the NPP if they attacked personalities, women personalities.
Yeah. So I think that also did a trick for Odole-Sowa, because the fact that I don't think I recall the two major political parties bringing up a female contender in the parliamentary elections in the constituency. I don't recall. You could say that of Lejo Kuku, you could say that of Osu Koleklote, you could say that of Nungwa Akrowo and other constituencies, even within the Greater Accra.
There were 2 female contenders.
Even where there were 2, no, more than 2, because Gumtu had a lady in the Akrowo constituency. So that is that. So for the first time a lady was coming, you could know the sentiments.
Ladokuku had 3 ladies: Sinari, Miss Odamson,
and Honorable Rita Odole. So on. So I think that is what also did the trick for her. And also, this time around, what helped the NDC in the constituency was the fact that they had a united front. They had a united front, seeing Honorable Ni Amasano Moali at the campaign launch of Honorable Rita Odole Sowa speaking at giving.
I remember seeing all 4 former MPs, well, 3 former MPs plus one-time contender, the person of Titi Katano,
of course,
joining the immediate past immediate past MP Amasano Moali, and the former NHIS boss, who was also MP before, Sylvester Mensah Otom, on the set, on the stage with Rita Odole Sowa dancing.
Yeah,
they had. There was this video going around, the dance of these 4 people. It ended with the catchphrase, "This is the dance they are afraid of." The unity dance, sort of.
Yeah, the unity, of course. And then you would agree with me that is the unity dance. Because last 4 years, Katano had some faithfuls.
Yes.
Katano had, the populace had some numbers in the NDC camp that swung or swing to the other side of the ballots, that is for in favor of Vincent Odote. So once he's coming back, then you should know he's coming back with all that. And then also in their primaries too, you could tell clearly that it was clearly won by Rita Odole Sowa. The people voted for her.
Her opponents at the primaries were actually behind her. You had people like Harold, who was here on our set several times, defending her, propagating her message every now and then. So you had Mr. Comey, who was also everywhere speaking on her behalf. So it was some good work they pulled there. Jake did
working tirelessly
work
for
the NDC.
So I think the NDC, for once, not for one, but this time around, had a united front.
Whilst their opponents,
had issues. So that is by far
issues they wouldn't admit.
Issues they won't admit. They would admit in room, but once you're out, they don't want to admit and all that. So I think that went all the way to also bring out this particular result. But then, trust me, it was a shocking result by all standards, because we know the incumbent Vincent Odote had worked, and then yes, he declaring that yes, he is giving his support to Joseph Dura on his campaign launch. During his campaign launch shows that indeed, then they have solved that on the surface. But then maybe
we know what was deep down.
But then the fact that he has come and then represented and all that. But then there are so many factors that played in the constituency. The pulling down of the hospital, what incidents.
Exactly. It came with a lot of commentary. Of course. A lot of commentary. And again, going back to the commissioning of the market, if you were there, you would have realized that cameras captured some young men of the NPP hooting at the outgoing MP. You had the MP, having to leave the grounds earlier than expected. He left amidst the hooting, and that would have gone against them.
Of course,
everybody could see that indeed you are not united.
You are not united, and then I think that is also a fact. That is also a fact, and one of the major causes of the defeat to Dr. Gerald Nyanyofio.
All right,
Tete.
All right. Thanks, Ni Naikal there, having brought us information from not just Lejo Kuku, but he brought us info with regards to Dade Kotopong, and if we had had time, we would have gone to Clotte Colley. But we'll be making time to bring you excerpts from, in fact, live feed, if possible, from the International Press Center, the International Conference Center, where the Electoral Commission would be. Okay, so we've been told that the the declaration has been postponed. But Simon Bang from Tongo, I have this correction to make. Dr. Mark Nawani is still the NAPDAM member of Parliament. There was an error there. He's still the member of Parliament for NAPDAM. He is in the seat, right? So we'll be taking a quick break, a very quick break. When we return, we'll have some more to discuss here on ZTV's transmission, live broadcast of election 2020. The figures are still trickling in. Some people are losing, some people are winning. New faces, we've mentioned those who are leaving Parliament. We've mentioned those new faces that will be entering Parliament for the very first time, like Rita Na Odele Soa, like Na Momola, the two women coming to Parliament from the coastal belt. Some others also we mentioned pretty shortly, but that is what it is at the moment. More updates coming your way soon, courtesy ZTV. Follow us on our YouTube channel. You just have to enter Zion Television. When you see the ZTV logo, the red round ball with the silver and white Z, follow, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and like and share our videos on Facebook. It is ZTV Official. You just enter ZTV Official. You see just us with the YouTube. You see our logo, you like the page, you share our videos, you invite others to also like the page. Please do that. Would really appreciate it. ZTV has been coming your way since yesterday when polls began at 7 with live information, live feed, live notifications, live updates from the 16 regions, 275 constituencies, and 33,765 polling centers. We're still on. We're going to give you that information till the Electoral Commission announces exactly what the situation is with regards to the presidential elections. Stay tuned for more here on ZTV.
Hello and welcome to the maiden edition of the Food Excursion program with me, Erajua Aju, but you can call me AJ for short. This is the show where we take you around the globe on an excursion to places like Nigeria, Liberia, South Africa, Canada, Portugal, Morocco, just to mention a few, bringing you their best tourist attractions, the do's and the don'ts, their culture, and most importantly,